Okay, so a month ago I said that these protests, the freedom rallies, would shrink in size as the prevailing circumstances changed regarding lockdowns and easing restrictions. That's what I thought. Obviously, I was a bit wrong on that because after studying as much aerial footage as I could scrounge together of it, I reckon they might have got somewhere in the region of 100,000, give or take, on last Saturday's Melbourne Freedom Rally. They reckon they got 47 million and it was the biggest protest in the universe ever. I say around 100,000. Regardless, big fucking rally for them, their biggest ever. Now, the really hard thing for me about this is that in 38 years on this earth, I've actually never been wrong about anything. And this is my first mistake I've ever made. So, can you imagine what it feels like to be like that, to make your first mistake, to sort of have to come down from Mount Olympus and see what it is, to be human like you plebs? Boy, I feel like shit. It's so vulnerable, to feel that, once in a blue moon you might make an error. Ooh. But fortunately, in a broader sense, I'm actually right. What a relief, right? Let me tell you why. If you followed my commentary on this movement, you'll know that one core criticism that I've always levelled at it is that it's stood for nothing. It's always just been a pack of red ensign boomers and COVID denialists and someone who thinks Joe Biden is a cyborg, standing around generally just happy to be there. No goals, no plans, no nothing. Now, the mandates, vaccine mandates encroaching, were bound to fuel an increase in the urgency of the anti-vaxxers howling. That was inevitable. It's done that around the world. They have. But consider looking around the series of freedom rallies on the weekend. Queenslanders in Brisbane, they only got their traditional 3,000 to 5,000 on the weekend. They always get that. They're a bit of a sleeper hit, the Brisbane rallies. But nothing's changed there. Specifically, it's the kill the bill stuff that's fueled Melbourne. They've addressed that core criticism because that is a tangible goal that they're now demanding, like it or not. And because that tangible goal also has to do with the parliamentary process, it's giving a movement a taste for involving themselves in political reform or the process of politics. And that happens to suit all the political vultures just perfectly. So now you've got a really enthused UAP, One Nation, even the Libs, Liberal Democrats, all buzzing around them, hoping that they can get these kooks to vote for them in the 2022 federal election, which is coming up. So now they're joining in and they're helping with raising the profile of these rallies too. Basically, I honestly think that last weekend you saw pretty much every single red-pilled Melburnian that there is, every kook of the entire pandemic, hit the streets. I really do think that they swelled to almost their maximum possible size, Even the cynic in me can just say that. Someone actually pointed out that Rukshan had some of his lowest stream numbers in a very long time. That's literally just because I think that they were all on the streets last weekend. So, regardless of the reasons, well played to the kooks. Now, I'm not going to go through all of the interminable rally footage and all the fucking speeches which go on for hours. Actually, wait, I'll show you a couple of clips. These were some fun, corny bits. I've got Thanos, my oldest, greatest love of the anti-lockdown movement, the TV smasher, doing the obligatory Braveheart thing. You've always got to have that at every rally. There's always got to be a bit of Braveheart now. It's a tradition. And Topher Field.
And I'm going to finish with this. You remember in Braveheart when Mel Gibson stood there in front of that raging army? What did Mel Gibson say that day? They can take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom! Look around you! Look at each each other. Do it now. Look at each other. Look someone in the eye. Behold your new tribe. We are bound together by something that is deeper than blood.
Yeah, you'd be bound together by fucking genomic sequencing if even half of you cunts would go along and get a test. There's been so much transmission at these rallies, and the organisers continue to refuse to even tell anyone that they should go and get tested. Here's one of the people. Her name is Layla Melki. She not only apparently spoke or organised in some capacity at this last rally, but she spent all week at the Kill the Bill campout outside Parliament House. And here she is pretending she doesn't have COVID afterwards.
I've come down with a little bit of a fever, a bit of coughing, and hot and cold chills. But that's okay. It's called the common cold. Let's not forget, I still have my sense of taste. I still have my sense of smell. So it's not fucking COVID. Thank you, sis. I'm all right. I'll bounce back. Just a couple more days. You know, I just need that couple of days' time. So I haven't actually been under the weather for 10 years. But, you know, I do have pine needle tea.
But even pine needle tea wasn't enough for some of the haters who suggested that Layla should probably go and get tested for the fake scamdemic Chinese bioweapon COVID virus anyway. So she did that. She uploaded a rapid antigen test saying, look, I don't have COVID. If you have a look at those test results at the bottom, apologies for the blurry photo, it's from Layla. It says that a solid line in the C and a faint line in the T means it's a positive result. Look at her test. Solid line in the C, faint line in the T. Layla has COVID. She just didn't understand the results of her own test. I have directly requested that Harris and McLean of Melbourne Freedom Rally tell their people to go and get tested. This isn't the first time there's been COVID spread at these rallies, and they've never done it once to date. If you're a member of this movement and you have any even shred of responsibility and aren't a completely brain-fried kook, please tell people to go and get tested. It's rampant around these rallies. They're all giving each other COVID, and because they're unvaccinated, they're very likely to get very sick. Please do something about it. Fuck. I was not in Melbourne last weekend. I was in Brisbane. I spoke at the little CARF rally. I can't show you my speech because my camera overheated. It was really fucking hot. I can show you this little bit though. Little me running gauntlet, a little strange abuse gauntlet we had going, shouting some stuff at people who were on their way to the Brisbane Freedom Rally. Here's some highlights.
You're a daydreamer. You're delusional. You're all delusional. You really are. In 6 months you'll be back to watching Married at First Sight. You don't care about politics. You're a daydreamer. Have a good day though. Hey bro, red flags don't mean anything. You're just a cooked daydreamer. See ya. If you're bringing children out to this event, I don't think you're a good parent. See ya. You're not an activist. You're a daydreamer. You're a daydreamer. Just remember that you're not real activists. You're just daydreamers and normies. Go back to watching The Block. Your placard is dumb. Your placard is dumb. You're a boring normie and you're a daydreamer. All of you are daydreamers. You're not helping me. You're helping yourself. You're all daydreamers.
Go back to bingo! You've got no politics! Go back to bingo!
Go back to Married at First Sight, mate. Watching The Block, mate. They're not real placards. You're not a real activist.
I'm sure there'll be more weird anti-vaxxer era yarding to come. But in Melbourne, my focus for this video lies, of course, Yard showed up. That's yelling at racist dogs. The little abuse strike force, we founded in 2017. Now, Yard either has its yell mode, which, you know, of course, given the name, found its origins in yelling at racist dogs, but which is also applied to mining CEOs and a whole bunch of other people too. Basically, it's a strategy. It's quite applicable to a broad variety of situations, but it also has another mode, a protect the rally from pests mode. And Melbourne Yard was definitely in the latter mode on the day. And I have to say, they did a very good job at that. congrats to the Yardies down in Melbourne. Rukshan and Avi both got kicked out of that rally, or prevented from coming in anyway. I want to go through both of these kickings out, address what happened with them, and I actually have an offer for both Rukshan Fernando and Avi Yemini. A couple of olive branches of sorts. So to both of you, if you're watching, please watch on through to the end for both of those offers. So first of all, here's what happened to Rukshan.
I'm just here at the rally against the right wing and anti-racism. I'm just doing media work, man.
You can swear whatever you want, but don't touch him.
Go film the Nazis, mate. Those are your mates.
Don't touch him. Don't touch him.
Get the fuck out of here.
Don't touch him.
Isn't this the anti-racism rally? Hey, I'm working, man. Hey, I'm doing media work, man. I'm doing work, man.
Yeah,
this is my job.
Back that way for this moment.
Okay, what moment can I go back?
Okay, fine. So Rukshan, obviously not welcome. Now, Rukshan then went on to sook about people of colour not being able to walk every square inch of the earth filming anything they like, and how that constitutes the real face of racism in Australia. Here's some highlights from that sooking.
Yeah, but this is an anti-racism rally. Nothing should happen to me at an anti-racism rally. Oh, well, this is apparently an anti-racism rally, yelling at a brown person of colour, trying to do his job. White people have told me, a person of colour, an immigrant in Australia, that I'm not welcome in their anti-racism rally to do my work. Just a bunch of people stopping people of colour from working, doing their job. That's what's happening here at the anti-racism rally. A group made of mostly white people trying to intimidate someone and not letting them do their job. I would say these are the racists here, some of them. I'm going to go to a more inclusive demonstration. I thought they would be more inclusive and allow me, as an immigrant of Sri Lankan descent, working hard in Australia, to continue to do my media work. But I don't know, quite possibly we could have seen the actual face of racism in Australia there.
I've been watching low energy, Trumpy, alt-right types like Rukshan spit some muddled form of what they think left politics are back at us for years in some way that they think is like an own or a gotcha moment. So, you know, for example, none of these cunts actually use the term people of colour in earnest. They just think we all do, and that's therefore some genius way to weaponise our politics against us. Incidentally, Rukshan, I don't use the term people of colour either, mate. It's a bit of a yank term, and to me personally anyway, it's a bit icky in the way that it flattens all other issues of, you know, class, politics, ethnicity into one weird, dumb pancake. So you end up with some wealthy Hindu supremacist getting to occupy the same identity category as an Aboriginal woman dying in a cell. No, sorry, no thank you, not my politics. I'd rather look at things in more specific and nuanced terms, particularly when it comes to the fragile and fraught subject of race. Anyway, Rukshan, you can't come into those rallies. Sorry. And that's not because of the colour of your skin, okay? Just clearing that up. It's more because you're a folk hero and, in my view, a clandestine key organiser of the anti-lockdown movement. And I don't think it's safe for those attendees at that counter-protest, now or in the future, for you to be recording people and faces and conversations and the like inside of those events, okay? I know you position yourself as a citizen journalist just trying to get both sides, but as you know, I already wrote at length about how I think that's ruse, and I don't think you're safe to be let in, consequently. You also have to acknowledge that there's a bit of history paved for you here by the likes of Avi Yemini. Avi's years of infiltrating left rallies have led to things like him serially harassing individual activists if he's allowed in, and setting his huge audience onto them. Some of those people are my comrades. No thank you. He's filmed actual children and him like owning them at climate rallies, which is, you know, it's so gross that it's near pedophilic in nature. Wouldn't you agree, Rukshan? He's brought Proud Boys into climate rallies, which is, you know, God knows how nobody got hurt, frankly, but they didn't. He's made it impossible for someone like you because of the precedent he set. So, sorry, champ, I would suggest that you actually blame Avi for the situation that you find yourself in. You can't come in, and that's not set to change. Go to the bit at the rally where 100,000 people call you a hero and suck you off. Obviously, that's more enjoyable for you. That's what you've cultivated. That's what you want. That being said, real Rukshan, I think you do have a degree of accountability with the way that you live stream that Avi doesn't. And I don't get the same, of course, I don't get the same sense of imminent threat towards left activists from you that I do from Avi and his team. So given those things, while you can't come into the rallies, if I am there for a Melbourne one in the near future, I will let you know beforehand directly. And if you'd like to pop along, again, outside of the rally, outside of its borders, then I would be content to have an amicable yarn to you and to your audience about all of the above. You know, why you can't come in, what we're rallying for, what my concern is about your movement, and so on. I won't launch any surprises from you. You have my word on that. Nothing like that would happen. We'd just have a chat and you can get my perspective in your endeavour to provide impartial, independent journalism. So that is my honest offer to you, Rukshan. Now, on to Avi Yemini. Here's what happened with Avi. Well, this is Avi's footage anyway. Now, naturally, Avi and his team are howling about this. I have to say, the worst that's happened to Avi in 4 or more years of constantly approaching the left to get footage is that he's had a bottle of water poured on him once, and might I add, that was in the pouring rain, so, you know, negligible in terms of impact. And now some dude's tried to take his mic, and, you know, throughout he's been occasionally shoved around. Avi's response to this kind of thing is always, of course, to say, I've been violently assaulted by the left. It's a violent assault. Ow, I'm in pain. It's a violent assault. Give me a donation. Ow, subscribe to Rebel News. Ow. This belies a truth, which is that Avi actually seeks out these conflicts, and it's actually very lucrative for his grift and grind if he gets physically interfered with in any way. But I digress. Avi knows better than anyone that what I have tried to do with the Yardies of Yard for many years now is to ensure, that he is booted from our rallies and that his footage is ruined, but also that this happens in a way that is physically safe for him. I want to keep little baby Avi Yemini safe in my care. Basically, I don't want any harm to befall him. So when I see things like this, I immediately start asking around to see if there's any backstory, because often there's something that Avi or his security guard Daniel Jones have done immediately before the clip that he plays on his videos that leads to the tensions that he then airs. That's his kind of trick, you know. So first things first, I ask around to that effect. Now, I haven't been able to get onto any of the people concerned, unfortunately, you know, or included in Avi's bits of videos, but I was told by someone that saw this particular run-in that just before it happened, Daniel Jones, Avi's security guard, pushed this gentleman to the ground, and that may have been why that gentleman was quite confrontational with Avi, you know, because he felt that he had just been roughed up himself. I haven't been able to talk to that guy, but I would say to him, I get what they like. Please stay back while experienced yardies and the like, even CARF marshals, what have you, deal with Avi Yemini and his scumbag team. We are experienced in this kind of delicate balance of fucking with Avi whilst not making physical contact with him. And even if you have great reasons for being agitated, we know he just uses this kind of footage to go, I've
I've been violently assaulted. Give me as much money as possible. Ow! Ow, it hurts right there. Oh, it hurts in my arm. Please donate to Rebel News now. Ow!
Yeah, just be mindful. That's his trick, okay? He loves that kind of footage, even if you have the best reasons in the world leading up to it. I'd say the same to this guy. I mean, the poor bastard's just walking along, then this aggro domestic violence hobbit just pops up on him, which is fucking gross, you know, I get it. But you do have to not lose your cool. Unfortunately, this is the shit bed that's been made for us to lie in by the very existence of people like Avi Yemini. Nevertheless, losing your cool makes the hobbit money. We'll have to all remember that. Now, this one is interesting. I haven't been able to find out who this person is either. In fact, nobody seems to even know of them, which is weird. Hit me up if you are this person. I'd love to have a chat. But I would say to you, mate, so you were up the bat. You weren't in this conflict. Other people up the front were absolutely handling that situation non-violently. Avi was on his way out. So when you leap through and do something like that, again, acknowledging that Avi's very annoying and you feel mad at him and yada, 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 when you do that, you kind of ruin what experienced people are trying to do up front. Now, trust me, mate, if the game was purely about taking Avi Yemini's comically big Rebel News microphone, we'd have already done that 1,000 times over already. The game is not that. If Avi had actually had his mic taken away, well, not only would everyone in the world be arrested, but Rebel News would do a $400,000 fundraiser to get the funds to replace his one comically massive microphone. So that is not our goal. We are not trying to be content cows or fundraising cows for Avi Yemini. Do you see where I'm coming from? That's what he wants. That's not what we want. So don't do that next time. Please let other people handle that. We'll keep an eye out for this shit next time because it's not on. I don't care how much the cunt annoys us. You know, at the rally and when Rebel cameras are rolling, you can't do that sort of thing in our name. Imagine you have a baby in your care. But that baby is really fucking annoying. And the baby has millions of subs, and the baby is constantly filming you to see if you act like a cunt, and that baby is a convicted spousal abuser. And whenever you touch the baby goes, violent assault, give me money, oh my god, it's a violent assault, help, ow, 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 subscribe. Well, shit, what a rubbish fucking baby that is, right? But that baby is still in your care. That's how we have to see Avi Yemini. A really shit baby in our care. Don't touch the fucking baby, please. This comparison helps because he's actually around the same height as a baby. This shit is boring to me. It's rudimentary pest control. It's not exciting to own Avi. It's boring as fuck. Avi's fans, they're all fucking morons. They don't know he's been playing this same trick for 4 years. We're the poor bastards who have to keep coming back and playing Groundhog Day with this asshole. So let this be a lesson to you. Before you try to snatch his mic or shove him around, please just consider letting us deal with it. You can join in if you like, but you have to ask us first of all what the rules are. Don't leap out on your own and do drastic hero shit. This isn't your time to shine. It just makes this guy money. But I did say at the beginning of the video that I would make an offer to Avi Yemini, an olive branch, just like I did to Rukshan Fernando. You know, because I did offer to have a civil conversation with Rukshan. Well, I do have an offer for Avi too, and this is a serious offer. Okay, here is my offer to you, Avi Yemini. Suck me off, you grotesque little spousal abusing hobbit dead shit creep cunt. Suck me to the hilt. Gag on it, cunt. Go to hell. See you at a rally one of these days, cunt eyes. I promise I'll keep you safe, little baby.